it's always cool to see GB come out versus Team USA. That's been some good matches over the years.
Right now we have the the compound cadet men team, and as you mentioned, we have Great Britain against USA. Again, USA in the final. We see the Great Britain team coming to the field of play. The order to enter in the field of play is the lower rank enter first, and the higher rank is the last one entering. Like it's happening right now, the US team coming to the field of play.
Yep, and what's cool about this is you actually have rank number 3 versus rank number 4. So these guys both had to take down the 1 and 2 to get in. So
they did the job.
Yeah, absolutely, both of them.
The competitors on target number 2, the team from the United States of America.
We can see in the presentation the judge. It's a Chinese judge. Just for those that don't follow our sport or don't know so much about details, in a World Championship we have to have different judges from all around the world, different continents, and of course the judge of a match cannot be from the same nationality of the two teams shooting or the two archers shooting.
Yep.
So we have our Chinese judge, international judge from China, officiating this match.
So for GBR right here, we've got James Howse, Luke Ralls, and Adam Carpenter. And then for Team USA, we've got Dane Johnson, Daniel O'Connor, and Cole Feterl.
Excellent. Let's go to see. US is going to start. That's also a privilege. The higher rank team or archer choose if he wants to start or he wants the other one to start.
Yep.
9 points.
9 on the right. Silence of spectators when they had the first arrow.
Yeah,
everybody's excited and it's a dead silence to see what is going on.
Yep. Need to put, like you said, if you're over practicing, you come out here and you know your first shot was solid. You can see they're all hitting a little bit to the right.
Yes.
It's worth putting a few clicks on there.
Strong shot here, buddy. You got it, Daniel. Strong shot now.
There we go.
Right, so
all of them.
It's clear that from the practice field to here, it's not exactly the same condition or the light. In the compound, very much the orientation of the sun affect with the
especially when you're looking through glass.
Yep.
So, they definitely need to put a few clicks on that. And a lot of times, whoever your leadoff person is, you can see the same thing right here.
Yes.
Which is good for Team USA at this point that they're going to give them a few points back here. Potential 27 to start.
Right.
Same
it's
thing.
Clear. I think if you are very focused, you will advise your archers just make a click just in case.
Yeah.
You saw the 3 before happen in this situation. On the right, he knew it was not good shot. He let it go.
Yep.
He was not happy with the shot.
Okay, so here we go back for second half of this first end.
6 or 7.
Not definitely. It's a not consistent shot.
Yeah.
That could not be anything related to the difference between the practice and the competition field.
9.
Yeah, I think to start right here, our U.S. Women's team could probably be winning this match. Shows how well they were shooting. I think there's just a slight movement on the flag, and I heard Team USA say, right edge, which I think they were kind of over anticipating what that wind was going to do. We're pretty much completely blocked right here from the wind. It looks like there's almost a little bit of a tailwind more than a crosswind.
And very, very little.
Yeah, shooting the types of arrows that these guys are shooting with a very small diameter shaft. There's a good shot right there of coming in of the flag, it's pretty much just hanging straight down.
Yes, when we see the windsocks that are in the field of play, that indicate the wind in the field of play, they are more or less hanging. It's not so much wind in the field; it's more or less no wind.
A lot of archers holding their release in their mouth here.
Yeah, I saw this. It's a fashion thing, or
it must be new fashion. Yeah, must be a new fashion thing.
So US is leading 53 to 51. You see
There's
the windsock. Yes. Our TV team got it.
Yeah.
I think it's a nice way to show our
Perfect
logos of
conditions.
US Archery and National Field Archery Association.
Yeah, perfect
Showing-
framing, guys.
Yes. Well done.
Good.
And as you can see, there's no wind in the field of play. There is a little bit on the top of the stands, but the arrows don't go so high. They are protected by the building.
Yeah, absolutely. At 50 meters with the compound, there's hardly any rise at all.
Yep. Yesterday we saw
got
a
the
lot
GB
of
team rallying over there.
there is some support from one country to another one.
Oh yeah, yep.
We were watching yesterday through the shooting line a little bit when the team matches, and it's amazing how has changed this. Only 5 years ago there was no cheering in the match. Everybody was like a bit of silence in the team matches, and yesterday was like a competition who cheered more during the team matches.
Yeah, they and it's a good way to break the ice. You know, a lot of times if you're able to have a little bit of fun, if you're able to break your concentration a little bit, it'll help break the nerves too. So it's good that the coaches are kind of getting that going, because you kind of take your conscious thoughts off, you know, some of the things that you might be thinking that's keeping you a little bit nervous. So now we've got the USA rallying, we've got GB rallying, so we've got a pretty good match in the stands right now.
There's a competition in the field of play, there's a competition on the stands.
Absolutely.
Everybody competing here.
A lot of red in the stands. Lots of Team USA shirts. Lots of red and white for GB. But we've got a ton of matches today with several countries. You know, looking down the list here, you know, Mexico. We've got Italy, Turkey, Denmark, Ukraine, Croatia. Got a lot of countries represented right now.
Will be a busy day. As following the rules, the team that is behind the match is starting the next end. Right now is Archer GB starting, trying to go back from this 3 point they are behind in the match.
Like a pretty dang good shot right there. Yeah, it's awesome to see all these kids with this type of form. Archery is going to be at probably almost a flawless level in another 10 years, is my estimation. At least for sure in the compound side. You know, this target's going to have to either get a lot smaller or way further away, because
we are discussing this already in the target committee, that to make it smaller, to make the tent smaller, to make all the rings a bit smaller, or to get more distance. Of course, we are not very happy to keep changing continually or every year, but it's clear that when archers is getting so good that it's all arrows on the tent, we need to make it.
Oh, yeah.
We cannot have so many shoot-off all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
we think it's still some years to go to this position, but we already are discussing that what could be the move when the moment comes. Good. We have seen the archer came in before he took the arrow out before he was in the shooting line. So the rule asked him to go back. The judge make a yellow card or ask him to move back. Archers cannot take the arrow out of the quiver before the 2 foot are on the shooting line.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You've got to get up there before you start your shot.
For compound, the time we have to shoot the arrows is a bit tight. It's a more operation that compared to recurve. You have to take the arrow, put the releaser, get the position, draw, go into full draw, get your back tension. So you need a few more seconds to make the shot that that in recurve. So it's a bit tight for those archers. So they try to get as fast as possible there, and sometimes they are crossing the limit.
Mm-hmm. You can see in both these matches, the teams tend to continually get more relaxed each end, you know, because until it gets to be where we've got a really tight match in the fourth end coming down to one arrow or something. But for the most part, you know, every few minutes that go by, that adrenaline starts to kind of wear down a little bit. They start to get a little bit calmer, and the arrows obviously start to get a lot tighter. It's a good end for the Team USA right there.
9.
As we mentioned yesterday as well, that from outside the match seems to go slow and cool, and when you are inside with adrenaline, the heart bumping like crazy,
it's
going
over so fast.
It's going so fast. When you want to realize you're already shooting your last arrow.
Yeah, that's the one thing that, you know, with archery, you're fighting and fighting and fighting all week long to be able to get to this position the last day, and then it's over so fast that, you know, it almost feels like you want it to start again right away.
As archer, you have experienced this. You finish a competition, you're not happy with yourself, you ride home, and the first thing you do is go to range and get this shot. You say, I cannot go to sleep feeling like that.
Yeah, sometimes before I'd even get home.
You want to go back there and say, I have to fix this. This is not me. I'm not happy with my performance, and you go back to practice.
Yeah, I kind of have a personal thing. I don't ever like to end a day on a bad shot. So, you know, I'd always like to practice and end on a positive note. So, if you end on a bad note in a tournament condition, I kind of didn't want that to be what was last thought in my head. So sometimes I would just go out and find a range that next day and just go out and shoot for a little bit and try to get that bad shot out of my system, so I wasn't really thinking about it. So we've got a 104 to 112. Team USA is leading again.
This kind of lead just can make you feel more confident, more relaxed, and just focus in enjoying this. This is a good shot.
Yep, absolutely. It's nice being dry again. We're not having to worry about pass-throughs or anything. So.
And archers getting cold. Many of them put in Facebook that they were freezing, that they were cold, they were wet. There was 2 days ago was a full day of rain, and yesterday was a full day trying to dry everything.
It was there was so much moisture in the air that it was just really damp, and even yesterday, even though it wasn't raining, you were still just shivering inside because that damp, cold feeling is just soaking right into your skin and chilling you to the bone, really.
Yep. It's this thing when the cold and the humidity go to your bones, it's difficult to take them out. The pressure you have when how many points is high. You know you have no room for anything that are 10.
Yeah. Honestly, it's kind of a bad feeling to be in the position where you know you've got to stand out there and shoot for another several ends, but you kind of know deep down there's nothing you're going to do to change your outcome.
Yeah, more out than in, yes.
Yeah, at that point you kind of just want to shoot a Robin Hood or something cool so the crowd doesn't remember any of your bad shots.
Yes, now the feeling is amazing. Uncomfortable, it's really, you try your best, but you know that it's very difficult to come back in compound with such a good team with 10 or 12 points being behind.
Tell you one thing that's changing a lot in the compound side is very heavy stabilizer setups.
Yeah, I realize it, you're right.
And I'm not a big fan of it. I think that especially in this condition here, you can see the last shooter that was up there, he's got a very heavy setup. When you get into a position like this where you've got some extra nerves on you and you're feeling just a little bit more tense, if you've got that extra weight holding you down. Sometimes you end up contorting your form.
Arrows low. I have seen many
Yeah.
archers that arrows go low when they have a bit soft, and then you change just the weight on the top and the long stabilizer, and it's get a bit more forgiveness.
Yeah.
I think could be real wild with this long weight and long stabilizer and heavy weight is making an effect of this. You think?
Oh
Or
yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
general?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But if you want to use his weight, you have to be as strong as he is. He's a strong shoulder. He's physically fit.
Yep.
Nine.
These guys are making solid shots. On another day, those arrows could be in just a little bit better, but I would, if I was most of these guys right here, I would definitely walk away from this performance still happy because they have all the tools they need right now to be a phenomenal team. They just need to be able to keep it together during this situation. But there was very few people in the UK that had technique like this, 10 years ago.
Arriving to this final, they have been shooting really good, and they have beat amazing good teams. So it's not a luck that they're here. But as we mentioned before, this is a new situation for many of them. A venue, spectators, TV, everybody watching them. That's play a role. They are kids from 15, 16, and 17 years old. And
well, the other thing too is you got to remember, most of these teams, when they go to their team trials, they'll go through their ranking rounds, and then they get to the point where they get into their elimination bracket, and this will be the last arrow here for team. There we go. He shot great. Yeah, he shot great. 170, 158 right here. So you're going to hear a big scream in a minute.
And I'm kind of wondering how many hotel patrons are getting woken up on all of our loud screaming here on the field of play. But that
still
doesn't
in
matter because
the
all
end
of our
three.
athletes
We have one more end to go, but as happened in the previous match, the match is more or less over.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a bit different when we use the set system. With the set system, if the match is over, finish in 3 ends. It's not much more to do, but when it's tied, you can go to more. And one bad shot can be recovered by the next set, but in compound, there's no space for mistake.
Yeah,
Any
there's
mistake count. And that gives a different mental pressure, I guess. You have to be more accurate, and you have no room for any little mistake.
It gets tough because it's kind of like in Vegas. A lot of people go there with the mentality that they can't miss because they know that it's going to take a 900 to be in the final. But as soon as you have a can't miss mentality, then you're looking at it from a totally opposite point of view is really what you should. Instead of saying I need to go out there, I'm going to go out there and make 90 perfect shots. You start thinking about I can't miss, and I can't miss. And if you think about that 90 times, you dramatically increase
Dramatic pressure.
Yeah, you're putting it on yourself. But the one thing that I was trying to say a little bit ago was, a lot of these cadets, or even juniors or senior archers for that matter, when you're at your local, area going through your team trials, a lot of times you'll have your eliminations, or if you look at it like a major event, like say like a Arizona Cup or something, you'll have your eliminations, and then once you get into the bracket rounds and you're shooting your head-to-heads, you don't have to go home and think all night about being in the gold medal match, because on the last day they're having all the brackets go down. So if you're out there shooting and you're on a roll, you're in the gold medal match, you really don't have the time to have everyone come up to you in the hotel and say good luck tomorrow, and have people emailing you or texting you saying we're pulling for you. So all that stuff for these kids, it's the first time they've probably really had to deal with that.
Yeah, you're right. Facebook is very active. They receive immediately information. WhatsApp, Kik, Instagram is a bombing nowadays. You are here, and as soon as a score is out there, and we put the score quite fast in live or in our result website or the application. The kids receive from the parents, for the friends, for the grandparents, for
Oh yeah.
a lot of support, and that of course affect also.
Who the heck was that? That was a bit annoying in the background, but
Yes, we
obviously he's trying to break his concentration. But
not sure. I think it was from the a support. It's something going on with.
can see a very open stance right here. This is kind of the first look I've had. Kind of curious if at one time he had started in recurve. A lot of recurve archers that transfer over into the compound side. Some of them that have dealt with shooting with a longer bow, they have a little bit more of an open stance.
Bit low.
Yeah, a bit
Didn't
low.
finish pretty well, but based on the reaction, I think he felt he was there. I mean, there.
Yeah. From
Okay.
what I'm seeing right here, the GB team is just, they're not putting the pressure on them. They've actually had several opportunities here to be able to come out, with a really solid end or solid round and make up a lot of ground, but they kind of continue to throw points back and forth. That was a good shot.
Any archer
Best
make-
shot he's
yes.
made since he's
Yes.
been on. Yep, best shot he's made since he's been up there.
I think any archer in a moment make one bad shot, but this bad one is not important. Important is that you go back very fast. You find the next one is in and you keep going in. So it's not so much about one arrow that you're not happy. It's about to go back very fast in your shot and consistency and do what you have to do.
Yep. The other thing, if there's people tuning in that just aren't that familiar with the archery, there could be some of these kids could have family right now that are tuning in to try to see this on TV for the first time. What you need to realize, that's a gold medal for Team USA. And
Congratulations to USA. They got the gold. They shot very consistent.
Yeah.
Didn't give too much space. Great Britain actually the team was not as strong or consistent as they would like to be or they wish to be, so they could not keep it going until the last end.
Yep.
Match more or less over after the second end. But congratulations for both teams to be on the final, and of course to the US team for this great performance. Two gold medal of 2 matches.
Oh yeah.
This is
and
2 of 2.
And what's crazy is we actually have USA coming up again right here, for the mixed team. According to rank, USA is actually number 2 to the Mexico mixed team. So this could be really interesting. Congratulations, boys.
Thank you very much.
Great to get your first gold right there.